Ukrainian-born film director and producer Igor Lopatonok. So, some of his widely acclaimed works include those groundbreaking documentaries, Ukraine on Fire, Revealing Ukraine, which were very, very successful, and he worked on them with Oliver Stone as well. Igor's actually working on a new project, and he's been kind enough to share some of that with me, and we'll preview just a tiny bit of it. Apple TV just banned your film, Ukraine on Fire.
Yes.
And the last time we spoke, YouTube had banned it, and Vimeo, and it was being taken down everywhere. Can you just give me your initial reaction to this? Apple TV removing your film.
Yeah, that's from business point of view, this is a very not business decision. What Apple is doing, this is just straightforward censoring of the different opinion, different point of view on a subject what unfortunately can lead us all to the death. And this is what actually make me very sad, because I don't understand the position of people inside of Apple, not the corporate governance of Apple, but people who inside of this big tech company who is obeying to this command to censoring the truth. And this is not only my film, this belongs to humanity. Because as a documentarian, my biggest goal as a documentarian, this is to give you, my audience, a point of view what can be different from the mainstream, can be alternative, and can enlighten you on a subject what relate to your safety. We are putting our life on the edge to make that films, and that people from big tech just simply ignore your safety. This is my message. So I want to say, if you don't like this, first of all, you know what to do. You go into the different platform and you're watching my film. Another way, you just go on the street and protest against that insanity what's going on in the United States with the government of and the Biden administration, who keep fueling the money and the weapons to this fire, to Ukrainian conflict. This is not Russia who started this war. This is United States who started this war under the Obama administration in 2014, and it's our prime goal to stop it. This is to stop funding and to stop sending the weaponry in a huge amount to Ukraine, what killing my fellow Ukrainians, what killing the Russian people, and what's leading us, inching us to the abyss.
This is a topic, just to reiterate, these films, you've been working on them for years, way before the new dimension of the war began in February of this year. So, your films provide extraordinary insight into the issue. So, I mean, why do you think they're going after your films now? What changed? Because they were fine and people could watch them before. Have they become an uncomfortable truth now?
Yes, that's uncomfortable truth from the beginning. But then more than we closer and closer to thermonuclear World War III, then more and more people who is inventing these things, who pushing these goals to kill us all, they're not happy with the alternative point of view.
You're working on a new film right now, and this film is called Ukraine, War and Peace. Yeah, could you just tell us a bit more about the film? Because I'm going to play a clip from the teaser in a second, but I wanted you to introduce it.
First of all, I hope that will be my last film on Ukrainian crisis. I did 4. So I want to make 5, especially Westerners. They don't understand what it was about, how Russia was provoked, what's lead to this unbelievable atrocities, what's Ukrainian regime of Zelensky implementing to their own people. I want to explain, I want to enlighten and people to understand this historical pretext and how we ended up in this war. This is my film, what's called War and Peace.
Protesters behind homemade shields walking into live fire.
What we saw here today was a revolution. For the second time in a decade, Ukraine has ousted its president, dealing a massive blow to Vladimir Putin's Russia.
teilen die Meinung nicht, sondern
Мы считаем, что украинское правительство пришло к власти демократическим путем.
Yanukovych, who has kept Ukraine closely tied to Russia, has fled the capital.
Господин Байден говорил одно, а в Украине делали другое.
We, of course, never choose candidates in any country.
I think Yats is the guy who's got the economic experience, the governing experience, and, you know, the EU.
So you had this remarkable phone call where you have these two senior officials of the U.S. government apparently talking about a coup.
Госпереворот совершили. С нами разговаривать не хотят. У нас какие мысли? Следующий шаг. Украина в НАТО.
The West is leading Ukraine down the primrose path. And the end result is that Ukraine is going to get wrecked.
Создавалось такое впечатление, что в посольстве Соединенных Штатов существует штаб.
The free world is with you. America is with you. I am with you.
So the CIA has been developing fascist assets in the Ukraine for 70 years.
You had Crimea wanting to break away.
Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a treaty to make Crimea part of Russia.
Eastern Ukraine resisting. Things rapidly escalated.
Порубий, Тимошенко, Аваков, Коломойский. Вот те люди, которые готовили бойню в Одессе.
Mariupol, are you in favor of the Donetsk People's Republic?
Ukrainian acting president Alexander Turchinov has called the vote a step into the abyss.
Господин Турчинов, который фактически начал войну, он несет огромную ответственность за это. Он начал войну против собственного народа.
Petro Poroshenko has promised to reform the economy and fight corruption. His role in the protests against the former regime give him credibility.
Слава Украине!
He presents himself as a unifying candidate who can reconcile the east and west of the country.
У нас діти підуть до школи, до дитячих садків. У них вони будуть сидіти в підвалах.
What are some of the main themes that you're going to explore in the film? Because there is so much to cover and talk about.
The goal of this film is to let people understand all complexity of the Ukrainian history in pretext of world and in pretext of Russia, and understand why the Obama administration and Biden cabinet run this war in Ukraine, why they killing the people, why they keeping the Zelensky regime in hostages and not allowing to any peace negotiation. You know what, Richard? I believe we are in a very good situation now because if you see what's happening in the United States, if you see, understand how Republicans is furious about that, again, second attempt to stall the election now in 2022, now in midterms, and how they starting to be clever, how they starting to investigate not the Hunter Biden, not somebody else, but Joe Biden, that is source of the problem, at least the frontman of the source of the problem, because we all understand this is not a Biden who make a decision. We understand this is Obama team, this is Victoria Nuland, this is all the people behind the Hillary Clinton as well, who is planning and implementing all decisions what's that body in the White House, in the house of people, who's not even sitting here, who is laying here like a zombie, and who's just don't understand what he's doing. He's leading all of us to the inevitable, to something what unspeakable, to the nuclear holocaust, because that people provoking Russia to the nuclear war. Because trust me or not, believe me or not, but their goal not only to provoke Russia, not only to destroy Russia, their goal is to diminish population to the 500 million. That's their idea, because they believe in this shit. They want our kids killed. They want us killed. They want to diminish this population and this, or shrink it, and to rule it, and to be, you know, as I think, the masters of universe. This is like existential war. This is existential conflict for the entire civilization on this planet. For us as a species, to survive this, we need to raise all our voices and all our strength and mighty, against that shit, against the war. That's what you doing. That is what me doing. That is what Oliver Stone doing. And we, as the army of Oliver Stone, we believe that voice of one man can change everything. That's why we doing this. That's why we're doing this film, and on a full throttle. 100% of power.
Seriously, share this movie, watch it, and you're free to draw your own conclusions from it. But I can tell you one thing: everything you watch in these films, you will find extraordinarily compelling and very, very, very damning of the United States in meddling inside of Ukraine, which has not stopped. This is Igor's Twitter, Igor Lopatonok, Ukrainian-born filmmaker and producer based in the US. This is his film that he did with Oliver Stone, but there are several. Remember, so Ukraine on Fire is only one part of the series. And if you go to his YouTube channel, Global Tree Pictures, you can see all the other films.